What's up guys, you already know what we're doing today. I wish I could do a long intro like usual, but we have like a gazillion creators to get through. I'm not gonna be able to give you a full-on explanation for everyone, but expect like 2 sentences for each person. If you don't know, this is the third year in a row I've done this. If I forget any, there's so many at this point that I don't think I can even cover them all. Just write them in the comments and they'll hopefully be in next year's list. Brickvault and Beyond the Brick are missing by the way, since they're mostly corporate entities or organizations with a YouTube channel and not really comparable to the rest here. I'll rank these YouTubers from my subjective view, so if you disagree, leave your opinion in the comments, and while you're at it, also just drop me a sub, and let's just get right into it. The first one we have is M&R Productions. I think his videos quality has massively improved on both his main and vlog channel. I enjoy most of his videos, even though the whole clone saga has been a clown show, and I think he has gotten a lot better with time, which is why, for the first time, I'll place him in S tier. Just Too Good is up next. I think her content has not gotten any better over the last year. In fact, there has been a stark decline in general variety and quality in my opinion. She was definitely on par with M&R Production once, but I think at this point he's running laps around her, which is why she'll sadly have to go in D tier. The Sans, well, he's a meme. No, but in all honesty this time, his content has gotten closer to that generic retention focused stuff I'll get to later as well, but I don't think he's quite there, which is by all means a good thing. I like the video ideas and the editing isn't too over the top, but still entertaining. He's also just a hilarious guy and his content is very enjoyable, which is why I'm putting him into A. Next up we have Ashen Flash. In my opinion his content is fairly average. It's nothing that's gonna blow you away, but it's not bad and doesn't melt your brain either. He's never someone I'm seeking out to watch, but he consistently puts out decent content, so we'll go B for him. Then we have our next S tier candidate, Solid Brick Studios. The quality of his videos has always been astonishing, and I said last year that he'd go back up into S tier with the return of more mock content, and he delivered. His videos are entertaining and are always a pleasant watch, completely justified up there in my opinion. Up next we've got TD Briggs, and here we get to the retention farm I've mentioned earlier. The videos in this style, mostly inspired by him since he has the most subs, all feel the same way with very little differentiating aspects from one to another. I also just can't watch these videos without getting a headache, but I can recognize all his success as a pioneer in the scene, so I will put him into A tier. Briggs is our next creator. I like the guy, he's very upbeat, and the city project he's been working on since like the Middle Ages is still very good. There's nothing that blows me away particularly or where I'm saying, oh that's so unique, but I never mind one of his videos, so I'll put him into B tier. Following up, Holly on Film is the next one. Her content has improved since last year and she provides a whole lot of variety on her channel. You'll always find something, but there's nothing in which she's reinventing the wheel, so I think putting her in A tier is more than justified. Then we have another retention farm, RJM Bricks. It's really the same as TD Bricks, but he just doesn't manage to stay quite as consistent. I'll put him in B tier I guess, with the next YouTuber fitting into the same niche but different tier, that being Generic Stud. I don't like the content. It desperately tries to be TD Bricks level of stuff mixed with a bit of, I don't actually know, but something else is in there as well. Nonetheless, he's going into C tier. I guess you could say his content is rather generic. Ha! Go kill yourself, Max. Next up we have Tommy C. Briggs. He's still doing his own thing, and I gotta say, when it comes to editing, he's one of the best in my opinion. The incredibly dynamic and engaging editing really does do a lot for him, but in contrast to TD Briggs and the like, it doesn't overshadow his personality or straight up fries your brain, which is why he's going into S tier. Republic Studs is our next creator. He fits right in with TD Briggs and RJM Bricks into the retention farm subgenre of LEGO content, even though he isn't nearly as good as the rest in my opinion. The content truly is nothing to rave about and as generic as it gets, which is why I'll be putting him next to Generic Studs in C tier. Up next is Amasaurus. She's still going strong and building her LEGO city, but all her other content is also really fun. I think what's unique about her is that she doesn't really need a whole lot of editing. Her personality alone is already engaging enough. I'll put her where she belongs in A tier. Thiago Caterino is our next YouTuber to rank, and I will be straight up, his content is decent, but nothing too over-engaging. The editing and scripting could use some improvement, and I just want to apologize for Thiago for last year. You did leave a comment asking for critique, and I kind of forgot to do that for like a year. Anyways, B tier it is for him. The Brickwiz is up next. I really like his stuff, although to be honest it doesn't feel quite as top of the line as it used to. He also isn't putting out videos as regularly as he used to, and his biggest draw, for me at least, the mock side, is nearly gone on his channel. Due to this, I'll just put him in B tier as well. Following that up, we have someone that is still doing mocks, Rich Boy J. I think when it comes to consistency and variety, he outperforms the Brickwiz, but he just isn't quite there in terms of quality. I'll put him in B tier too. He is still doing great stuff, just not on a high enough level for A tier just yet. Our next creator is SCDude1999, and I just have to tell you, I find his content extremely uninteresting. The main idea of his videos seems to be loud equals good or something, since he just starts by screaming in almost every non-shorts video. I don't find any pleasure in watching his videos personally, so I'll put him right next to Just Too Good in D tier. Next up with MJF Customs. Now his content is pretty great, the videos are really high quality and he's found a niche in being the LEGO Customs guy. What kinda drags him down though is the inconsistency in uploads. I'm sure there's a reasonable explanation for that, but it is the reason I'm gonna put him in A and not S tier. LiveBricks is up next. In my opinion his content has gotten better, there's a lot of variety on his channel and he's always pretty quick when it comes to news. I think both editing and thumbnails could improve, but I'll still put him in B tier for 2023. Sacred is our next creator and in my opinion the best of the retention farmers. My brain doesn't immediately liquefy when I watch one of his videos, which is something he already has over most of the others. I don't think he's good enough for S tier, so I'll just put him in A. I also just want to show this thumbnail of his pretty quick. I think it's hilarious to have a combination of Mr. Beast, LEGO and a fucking Warzone as your thumbnail, but whatever. Up next I have Mini Superheroes Today. Look, the dude seems to be nice, but his content just is so not for me. I don't think the editing or camera work is good, I'm not a big fan of previous customs, and like I said, it's just not for me. Today he goes in D tier. I understand that might cause some uproar. The whole Jangbricks entity is our next contestant. I chose to go with both of his channels instead of just with one of the two, since only together they give you a good picture of his content. I don't think it's top of the line stuff, it's fairly calm with Jang just narrating us either through reviews or new reveals with no fancy editing and sometimes barely any at all. For that, I'ma put him into C tier. Doug Briggs, the LEGO master himself, is up next. His content is pretty entertaining with pretty good quality throughout every single video and the vibes are always on point. The thumbnails could definitely use some work, but I think that doesn't drag him down too far, which is why he's gonna go into A. Up next with Brickza. He is a pillar of the community, but these days his content just doesn't hold up anymore. It's not very well edited, the quality is not up there anymore, so I have to put him in D tier. His videos just don't hold up to the test of time. SW Briggs is our next creator, again retention farm with very few original ideas and generic videos that could stem from literally any other channel in the LEGO scene. There are just no differentiating factors at all, which is why he's directly joining the rest in C tier. Next we have Shy Time Is My Time. His content has this very feel-good, wholesome vibe to it. I personally really enjoy the content with nice editing and good quality. What carries the videos though is his personality, which never fails to entertain, so I'll put him into A tier. Also, RIP to the Kelly Bricklick podcast, you will be missed. Up next we might have the best LEGO YouTuber currently, Half Asleep Chris. His content is insane, he's one of the most creative creators out there right now and the production quality is just on a whole nother level. He's going into S tier, no questions asked. Brad's Brick Pros is the next creator we have on the list, and while he too belongs into the category of retention farmers, he has the unique aspect of really telling stories in his videos. It's nothing I'd be creaming my pants over, but it separates him from most and is also the reason he isn't just going into C tier but rather B. The next creator we have here might be the only person able to compete with Half Asleep Chris for the spot of best LEGO YouTuber, Brick Build Benny. The editing, production quality and everything is just otherworldly, and especially in the thumbnail department he's a different beast. S tier, no other options. Brick Science is up next and his content is somewhat of a mix between Mr. Beast, the Hacksmith and Mythbusters I guess. It's highly edited and not my favorite content, but I recognize all the hard work and creativity poured into it, which is why he'll go into A tier. Up next we've got Split Bricks. His content is quite different from most other creators in the scene. It feels more like old school just to good stuff, but with higher quality. He won't blow you away with his personality or great editing, but it's just chill stuff, which is why he'll be going into B tier. Following that I have the Brickaniac. His content is interesting since he varies between what is very obviously trying to be TD Bricks kind of stuff and generally really good ideas. The quality may not be the cream of the crop, but especially in the area of rendered mock ideas, I think he's pretty much on top of things, so I'll put him into B tier. Brickcraft is our next creator. He's an originally German YouTuber that also does English content now and has found a lot of success in that. His city project is probably the most impressive one out there, and I just have to say, he's got the thumbnail game figured out. He's an A tier creator for me. By Bison is up next. I don't know the guy behind it, but in my opinion it's the most soulless channel you'll find in the LEGO community. It's retention farming at its peak and it removes even the last bit of humanity by using text-to-speech. He'll go into E tier for now. Next up we have someone that would be up there in the most upper echelon if he only uploaded a little more often, Lion Bricks. I think his videos are amazing with a unique tone and great quality, but only 2 uploads a year is just not compatible with S tier, but I think A tier is still very justifiable. JK Brickworks is our next creator. When it comes to motorized builds, no one doesn't like him and he's just a phenomenal builder with even a few idea sets to his name. The videos are decent and I think he'd cozily fit into A tier. Up next is Bricks by Mind. In my opinion he's just another action flash. Like, flip the videos, I wouldn't be able to tell you the difference. He's not reinventing the wheel, but his content isn't bad either, so I think just sticking him into B seems justified. Racing Bricks is our next creator. I don't have a lot to say about him generally. I'm not into LEGO Technics, so I'm not really the target group either, but his videos are decent. There's nothing there to really strongly complain about, which is why I'll stick him next to Bricks by Mind in B tier. Then we have Ryan Savell. He has very clearly found his niche in minifigure-centric content, or even more specific, Marvel minifigure-centric content. The video's quality is overall good and his upbeat personality keeps engaged. I think he fits right into A tier. Coconut Brick Studios is who we have up next. In terms of pretty much everything, he's on a level with the Brickwiz and Rich Boy J. He also operates in the Mock scene, and the overall production value is pretty good, but nothing outstanding. Due to this, I will put him right in B tier. The B3 is another retention farmer whose videos are slightly better than the average and who doesn't just seem to be cycling through the same video ideas as everybody else. His videos still aren't for me, so I'll put him into B tier as a healthy middle ground. To end the video on a high note though, I have Cheesy Studios. I really like his videos, they give off quite a cozy and wholesome feel, which certainly stems from the chill editing style and personality that shines through thanks to the editing. The thumbnail and the production quality are also really good, which is why he'll be going into S tier. And with that, we're done. I hope you had a wonderful 2023, and until next time, goodbye.